How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I'm trying to do something here, little ladies. Hope everybody's having a good time. So, the last video I posted was a few days back. I filmed it a few weeks ago, but we've had internet issues and whatnot because I go through CenturyLink and they suck ass. But so we filmed the feeding video and everything was fine and dandy. And all of a sudden we had some tragedy strike here. And it's kind of just like par for the course when you have animals. Kind of just have to accept it. I mean, you always do everything you can to prevent it, but it doesn't always work out, or you just get a little lackadaisical in some situations. So right after we filmed the feeding video and the fixing the pond video, we had a couple tragedy strike in the chicken pen. So we had 3 silkies, which is that dude and the white one back there. And we, after we filmed the feeding, I went through and I put all the tarp on to keep it dry because it's a lot drier in there. I just gave him like apples and leaves to play with when I did the yard work recently. But we had it filmed, editing it. I had to wait with everything because the internet sucks here. And we came out one day to do our head count because we do it every night. And this was before I was locking them up and everything. We were doing a head count. We're like, wow, there's only 9. We had 10. Where's the 9th one? We thought it was a girl and was sitting on the box or something or whatever. Well, where the feed is back there where the white one's standing, there was a flat silky. And she was tore apart where she looked like a bird of prey got her. Like an owl or something like that got her. So we assume an owl took her out, which sucks because that's just a really rough way for her to go. But it was weird because there wasn't really a hole for it to fit through. So we're like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense because there is a hole, but we've done a pretty good job of mucking it up like that. I don't know if you can, so you see where the tree is right now. I'm not going to go, I'm not wearing the right shoes, but I kind of built the frame around it, but there was a little hole, but a bird would get stuck in it or anything would cause a commotion. And we're like, all right, cool. That's why we have so many, because we're used to one going down. And we were looking around and trying to figure it out. We put the tarp on, everything was fine. I left the house open, and when I left the house open, they normally will go in. The one white one, she sits on the roof and sleeps, which is funny. So I have to come out every night and pick her up and put her in. And we were doing a head count. We're like, okay, where's 9? I'm only counting 8. And this is within an hour, 2 hours of us checking on him in the morning. Couldn't find him, and then we found one flattened out here, relatively a fresh kill. Again, a bird of prey got it. So that day I actually took off work to I was delivering at FedEx. I actually took off work. Would you stop? I'm trying to talk. I took off work to fix all this. So I went through and re-stapled everything, put more wire up, clogged that so nothing can fit through there. Like, I don't even think a rat could fit through there now. And then there was a hole here. So I blocked all this off. I refixed it because Banksy, she plays with the dogs next across the fence kind of, and she'll run up and down here and just make a giant mess out of everything. Well, she pushed through the fence, and I noticed possums were getting in through there. And a possum normally won't kill a chicken. Normally they try not to, unless the chickens mess with them for going off the eggs of the feed. But there was nothing, and it was like a little baby, so it wasn't a big deal. So I went and I fixed that, and now I come out every night at like 10 o'clock and lock all 8 of them up. I do a head count. I throw Fettuccine, which is that one, inside because she sleeps on top. Throw everybody in. Looks like Alfredo's gonna crow, but I threw everybody in, and now every night it's just a lock-up thing. And then we get up in the morning at like 7 o'clock or so to let them out because I don't have the fancy automatic button deal or whatever. But so we're keeping them alive. So a couple weeks, so like about a week goes by, and I'm like, okay, I think we got all that nipped in the butt. And then tragedy struck again. And this one, for whatever reason, was hard. Like, I've lived on a farm, and I've had animals. I've had animals for pets, for feed. You know, you butcher your ducks, your chickens, your bunnies, your cows, pigs, whatever, because you need to eat. And that's what we were doing. And so I've had all that. I'm used to that type of thing. But when they become your pet and you raise them and for your daughter to play with and everything, that's when it gets a little more emotional. And Alex took this one really hard, and she's never had ducks or anything. she took it really, really hard. She came out in the morning, and I was actually late to work over this because we were pretty messed up about it, because we just got everything done. In the last video you saw, we leveled that out, filled it up with water, and then as soon as we did that, it got really cold, so we filled up the house with hay, and we had a heat lamp, and this was all tarped. Like, I had a big old tarp over here and everything to keep it as dry as possible, but this cluster of branches, there was a hole there, but we filled it with a tarp. So we dumped the water out, filled it up with all the bedding that you see here, and it was fine for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks worth of lighting. It was totally fine, everything was good. And then we lost the 2 chickens, Waffles and Nugget we all lost. And then now we came out, and she lets the birds out, everything's fine. She's looking, she's like, we're missing the duck we rescued, Fiona that became Shrek. We're missing the mallard. And I was like, how are we missing that one? That doesn't make any sense to me. And we saw that the tarp, because I already removed it, but the tarp that was sitting right in here, the tarp, that, because we had like a tarp in here, it had got pushed down, and it was like really weird. And I was like, that's so freaking weird. Like, why would it fall unless the rain really knocked it down? We're like, oh, you know, whatever, we didn't think much of it. And she's like, yeah, he's gone, I don't know where he went. And so I'm thinking, well, he saw the opening and he flew out, because that night he was trying to push out when I was in here doing like a night check, because I come out here, check their water or check their food, kind of put stuff away for nighttime, or make sure that they're okay for night, and everything, and he was trying to get out, which I was like, that's kind of weird. He's just being silly, I guess, because he lost his comfort around me, and we were trying to build that relationship back up. So I didn't think anything of it. She comes out in the morning, and she's like frantically looking. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so I went to go do something. I came back, and I was like, well, maybe he just flew away. It's that time of year. Maybe because he was a wild duck. We did rescue him, because he would, if we didn't take him in, he would have got eaten by a cat or a bird or something. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, what happened to him? He flew away. And I came in here, and I was doing like a perimeter check and checking like the holes and stuff around, and checking all this and redoing this. Like, I had a net around it here, I had the tarp in here, I had another tarp wrapped around it. Like, it basically cocooned this whole thing. And I noticed that the tarp was sagging, so I came over here and I started pushing everything, like, to get the like the water, like that, just kind of knocking the water off of this thing. And right here I hit, and it came up, and it, like right here I hit, and it came back down really hard, and I went, damn, I know what that means. So I did it again, and I realized, damn, that's where Shrek is. He's right there getting eaten. So I went and I got a bag, told Alex that I found him, and she was just, like, I could see she was pretty heartbroken. And I was like, what dragged him up? We still don't know what dragged him up, but whatever it was, if you see the discoloration on the wood, that was all red and pink. So whatever it was sat up there, ate part of him, and left him probably to come back later. So that's when I really was like, we gotta fortify it. And I lost a lot of daylight, and I don't have the outside lights on anymore back here, because we unplug them to run the heat lamps and the heat pads for the bunnies and all that stuff. And I come out, and because I was gonna put a door on that, and I picked Jessie up and I threw her butt in there, because she wouldn't come over here. She was scared to death of this side because she watched her friend just get eaten. So I threw her in there, like, this is safe. I put her water there, put food there. All of a sudden she's thirsty, hungry, everything, living life. And I was like, okay, in the morning I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna probably put you, I thought about putting her under the trampoline, because we have it like netted off. I don't know, you can't really see, but we have it netted off so the dogs can't get under there and poop and everything. And I was like, cool, I have a spot to put her if I need to. Worst case scenario, I'll throw her in the duck pen or the chicken pen, and everything will be fine. I'll build the door for that. And I slept in that day, and Alex, she couldn't sleep because she was pretty upset about the duck, because I don't think she's ever lost ducks, or well, she's never had ducks, and then she's like losing them. She's like, it's emotional. I mean, especially if you name it, you care for it, you raise it from a baby, you kind of become attached to it, especially if you're not using the land or the livestock to eat it. And I wake up about 8 o'clock. She's been up since like 4, and everything. And she got up at like 4, looked out, bird's fine, bird's alive, bird's happy. Because that night she didn't come over here because all the trauma happened where she watched her friend get eaten. She was sleeping here, and from here, where our kitchen, that's the dining room, but where the kitchen window is right there, in that window you can see to here when the heat lamp was on. You could see it like clear as day, perfect. You knew where the animals were. And so she was keeping an eye like all night she was keeping an eye on her and everything. And she was like, okay, Jesse's there, big white duck's there, everything's good to go, yada yada yada. I know that duck is safe. Cool, everything's fine. She goes out at like 5, checks, and like 6:20 I get a text message, because I woke up at like 8, and I get a text message at like 6:20 because she didn't want to wake me up because I had to go to work that day. And all it has said is Jesse's dead. And I woke up, I didn't make any noise. I woke up and I gave her a hug because I knew that was her duck, and she was really attached to that duck. And which just sounds funny, but I mean, if you have animals that you raise and everything, you know like what it is to lose them or have something happen to them. And so I went out, found her, and it was kind of a glory kill, like a frustration kill almost. Damn neighbor dogs. And so I went, well, shit, you know, that sucks. Like, that really sucks. I went out there and like she was pulled apart, but like she wasn't eating, all her weight was still there. So it was just kind of a frustration kill, I think, by whatever killed her. And so I went and picked her up and pulled her in, and I felt bad because I kind of took the blame on that because I didn't actually do what I needed to do that night. But it was just kind of like a refresher that no matter what we get going forward, no matter what we keep outside, especially for when we get our house or the next house at the property, wherever that may be, everything from here on out is going to be built like this. But we're gonna do the whole floor in wire and then put dirt on top of it so nothing can dig underneath. But every enclosure from here on out is gonna be built like this, or like how the duck one is, or the chicken one is. I'll still be using the dog kennel ideas, and we'll still be doing stuff like that to recycle, reuse, and all that stuff, because that's kind of fun to like take something that's not meant for this kind of animal and making it for that animal. Because we had a whole idea to get like a whole nother kennel, run it down to where the garden ends here, or the new garden starts, the new garden bed's gonna start. And we had this whole idea to run it down. Now we're not gonna worry about it. I don't know what the plan is going forward, but we were gonna run another kennel from where it ends right there to like here, or maybe there, because that's where that plan is, unless she moves some of the stuff. But to at least here probably, and have like a pond and everything. That's kind of the idea. Now I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know if we're just gonna put up a fence to keep the dogs out of here. I don't know if we're gonna get more ducks. Probably not. I don't really know what exactly we are doing. She's kind of up in the air, and Amity's upset about it, obviously, because those are her babies too. So it's like we're kind of up in the air what we're gonna do. But basically, I didn't want to make a video like this. This wasn't the intent today. I had an idea for another one. It was gonna be a talking one, but it was a totally different topic because of, again, the randomness of this channel. But it was just kind of like a refresher, like no matter what you do, stuff can still happen. So not only do I lock these guys up every night now, but I lock the bunnies up every night. And they're kind of getting trained that when I come out at like 10 o'clock, they're like, oh, it's time to go inside. So they're starting to run up that ramp to go to bed. But yeah, it's just kind of a reminder and an eye-opener that like no matter what you think is enough, do a little more. It's not gonna hurt. It's gonna take a little bit more time to get it done. It's gonna probably look a little ridiculous for all the overkill of what you're doing, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because your animals will stay safe and everything. And we had this whole idea to do like these new feeding bins for both of them to get our rat population out here down, because I haven't got my rat rifle yet to pick them off, which is a high-powered air rifle, really, to pick them off and start liquidating the population of them, at least on my property. But yeah, so it's just kind of a reminder that no matter how far you go with it, if they're, you know, pets that you care about, you named, you fell in love with, that you can always do more. Always do more. Like, that's kind of the big thing that I want to stress. And I know better, but it's kind of like the big thing to stress. Like, every time I do this now, it's going to be, I'm thinking of every outcome. But so it is pretty sad. It does suck, because these were Alex's first ducks and Amity's first ducks. I decided to do kind of a cool little thing, like almost a shadow boxy thing. I don't normally do for like the outside animals, at least as far as like the waterfowl type thing. But I did find a few feathers of theirs, and we were gonna put them in like a different picture frame, but just kind of like a little remembrance of them, because Alex was really, really attached to him. So that's what makes it harder to deal with, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of the sad, somber news of the day. Again, this was not the intended video for today. Hopefully we'll be cranking out more content. Obviously that's always the plan. Hopefully it'll be different other than sad animal stuff or just animal stuff, like kind of get back into everything else. But yeah, no, hopefully it was a little informative to like learn from my past mistakes and my current mistakes. I guess like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. I hope everybody has a great holiday, Thanksgiving coming up. All right, everybody, peace.